Yeah, like no characters either. I got like 156 ink, but that's it. I think I can't buy anything. $3,000 iCore. Can we return to the lobby? I got me a character at least. One character. I'm happy. Now how do I pull up the, how do I equip it? Where's Toons? Oh. Oh yeah, I found it. I got Shrimpy! I should be called Inky. Well, am I even in your guys' server? Well, I'm gonna go join you guys. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Sorry, I am not up to date.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah, I'm in. I'm a shrimp. At Shrimpy.
I want to play this game.
Yeah, I'm a shrimp. It's like the only character I have except the box.
Why you do the regular solo?
One down. Okay, let's go. I don't know what Shrimp does. I don't know his abilities.
That thing's too fucking hard. I can't get nowhere on that thing. I couldn't get a fucking kill. Bunch of fucking sweats in there.
And I'm switching. Where are we going? In here? Circle. Down. Down. Not too far, Grandpa. Too far.
I'm trying. Just join me.
No, back. Royale.
It won't go down.
Solo. There we go. Playing this while live, they're gonna see me die. So I should be boxy then.
I can't play no Black Hawk. Be backup.
Yeah, all of his stats are one shot. Bully. Strength and defense lower than another by tunes. Only playing this tune. It sucks. I can already say. Yay! Me and Super twins! You should try this out.
Stupid ass game.
You ready? I'm gonna try and rush this.
Roblox.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you play that fucking game.
How do I sprint? I can't sprint. Oh, it's crouch. No, it's crouch for me. My crouch button in Call of Duty for me. Okay, I have avoided the danger. What? I got a piece of candy. What does it do? Oh, it gives me a speed boost. Okay. I'm gonna try and find a machine so I can start cranking it. One of you, I do not know how to crank a machine on PlayStation controllers. I found one! Okay, it's just X! Okay, it's just jump. I got it. I'm doing pretty well for playing Dandy World's first time on PlayStation. I played it mainly on phone.
You do it on my wire? What the fuck?
It's as well R1, but I prefer my crouch button. Where's the final one? What's the final ink capsule? Does anyone know? Is it back here? I'll crank it. Keep me guarded. This is the final one. I'm almost done, almost done, almost done, almost done. Yay! I did pretty well. Don't buy anything. I want to do a secret boss fight with him. If you don't buy anything from him, it activates a secret boss fight. Okay, you ready? I hate Dandy. I hate Dandy. I got smacked by one. What does the hands do? And who do they belong to? Okay. I already got this one at half. Done. Man, no, don't put that finger down. No, you're not gonna just complete. I can't exit. You have to be stuck. Okay, you left. Thank you. Don't ever do that finger trick at me. Try to lure me over there so you can smack me again. I see a creature. There's one by me. Try not to get used. Try not to get noticed. I got a jawbreaker.
Fucking bitch. Fucking can't clean nothing. You fucking stupid.
I see another hand. Again, Grandpa?
I got no fucking help.
Oh, you're playing that game. I'm gonna join you.
The A-ball's just circling the poor head.
I'm gonna join you, but I don't even know where you are first of all. I'm just gonna join you. So you're playing this game. I never tried this game out. Once upon a time, my friends were playing this game. They died. Agli and Nico.
I'm at like 1 heart.
And Chandra played this game.
I'm the last one living. Man, I am not buying anything trash from Dandy. Who thought I was gonna do that?
Ow, whoa, whoa. Like, hey, whoa, whoa, hey. Whoa,
Good.
whoa.
I see the hand girl again.
They're gonna sandwich me either way.
Hey, yo, did someone say horny?
Grandpa.
Loki is kind of funny.
What's it, Space Jail?
You won't. Guess who got her out?
What's it, Space Jail?
You won't. Guess who got her out?
Don't make that right.
Hey, Silver Fox. Hello.
Copy.
So, what's new on planet Earth?
If he's going to be on that alien station off the planet.
Oh, she's good.
No, the stupid magnifying glass.
Yeah, they killed her once.
No.
Big deal.
How do you not die to the magnifying glass?
Partially her fault, partially a friend of hers on Earth called Rose. But she's trapped in a parallel universe now.
I just died to a magnifying glass capsule. How do you avoid him?
Those things. They were what was inside the Dalek when
How do you avoid the magnifying glass?
This is a clone farm. They're not growing food here.
Question, how do you avoid the magnifying glass?
They're growing Daleks.
That, the dude...
Can you hurry up and help me with this?
Let's take a sample of the liquid. I wonder what it's being fed on. Might give us a clue on how to stop them.
We're gonna blow them up, kid.
What did you do to yourself, Super? I'm back in here. See you, Super.
I've missed that sound.
Where's the light? We have to turn off the light.
Why, Doctor?
Shrimpo.
Nuclear.
So, Shrimpo, I'm gonna read off her attack.
Might backfire.
If it's what I think you
So, Shrimpo, her ability,
Right now.
passive, steals endurance lower than any other. Tune only plays this tune if you are looking for a challenge.
Exactly.
I'm good.
So,
What's she doing?
I am not looking for a challenge.
what you want to do?
Death Squad Daleks. Think of them like the SAS of Daleks.
Only way more brutal.
Okay.
They're our best hope right now. Jack, how do you feel about boarding an SAS Dalek ship?
I'm just walking around.
Yes, please.
My kind of plan. I have Dalek issues.
How much inky? Okay, so my next character. So I got Shrimpo. It's my next less expensive character. 300 ability luck. Activate this sim has can re-roll a 50%.
I couldn't stop them even if I wanted to. No detonation until we're sure.
Okay, I'm after this next tune.
Creation.
Toonlies. I'm after next.
Here we go.
Or tidy up.
Command center is down that way. Do not go that way. That's where most of the Daleks will be. Clear on what to do? Yeah. Spread these things out, but don't get killed. Okay. Good luck.
I'm right now chilling.
Hey, who's in charge here? Jack, explosives all day.
Does he not realize he's in 2 streams, right?
Doctor, I've got some good news and some bad news.
I'd rather not go typing in chat.
Do I detonate? Almost. Grab hold.
Come on.
I'm Captain Jack.
Honestly, me and Super. Hey, Super, are you a newbie as well? At this game? Hey, me and Super are twins.
What just happened to me?
Did we do it?
Oh, we got Shrimpy, the worst character.
When Cooper sends her love, by the way, says she took out a Dalek with a moped and
Should I, or should I heal?
Anyway, I'm gonna stick around on Earth and catch up with her. I'll call you.
Okay.
Honestly, we have a teammate that's Shrimpy. That character is probably gonna be dead in a couple seconds. How much you bet that? I'll focus on getting stuff done. Okay, we. Okay, we got a decent team. Super. Try to speedrun this with me. Check here, not there. Thank you. Let's check. Found one. You okay? You took damage. Okay, you super. Try to be careful. I'm almost done with this one.
I have the right to inspect.
I'll let you go before I start moving.
That's what
Is there any I-core things over there?
19-year-old
Here?
son screamed at police officers after calling 911. On me for installing a smart lock on my own pool gate. He told emergency dispatch I was threatening neighborhood safety.
I had 2
blocking
pieces of
out
candy.
Common areas. In my own backyard, the kid had no idea this phone call.
Got another one doing an
destroyed his
I-core
entire
thing.
family. Because when you call the cops on
Found the last
neighbors
one.
for a pool lock, you better pray they don't have security cameras. Where are you watching from? Comment your location below. Moving into
I'm in
what I
the
thought
back
was my
left
home.
corner of the map. If you keep the monsters away from that corner, I should be fine. We got attacked. Who's dead? Super! Break their ankles. Get over here. You're a scorpion? Damn it, why are you a disappointment?
That box contained stolen military property. Those were the exact...
What?
This is...
Don't buy anything. Let...
Welcome back to the show. Today on the show,
Okay.
that's right. Hot wall propagation.
So we only got 2 people and 1 heart, 2 hearts. Me and her on 3. I'm gonna focus on trying to head to the side. Hey, 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 hey! No, no! Num.
Unreliable way of starting seedlings for hard or soil. This is
Sorry, it had to be you, not me. I found a nether. I'm cons. Yoink.
and then propagation phase.
Ow.
In it against pack cell insert, which will be able to use to kill with
I took a heart.
what you like. Now this insert should cut all the way down to the bottom of the tray and it should be about 5.
I'm sorry, Super. I had to run, but I don't know why it went on you. He was behind me.
Propagate on this.
Did you get confused about the boxes?
There's the ceiling. So to the cells, we're going to add in.
I've been doing mainly great on these things. That was pretty easy, I guess.
So that they lift up from below when you add in.
That.
And you want to do that with.
Now, can you tell the magnifying glass dude from the different other things?
So they stick out the bottom. If they don't, push it a little bit further.
Get to the elevator. Super. Get to the elevator. It's about done.
And then we're just going to fill out the rest of that complicator. This method.
The rock dog said get to the elevator, so I'm gonna listen to him. Super, we gotta find a med kit for you here soon. Get over there, Super.
You want to make sure that all of your cotton wool buds are pushed through to the base of the cell.
We're good, Super's here.
And we're going to start by wetting the medium. So
Get
we're
in!
using water at this point. And
Super! No!
We have enough water that the water level will.
Blind grab. Any tune that reaches a random item has an inventory slot.
So, this will allow the water to lift up naturally and won't actually need to wet the cotton bud on the box. We'll place out our seeds, press them into the wet buds, and we'll put our propagators into our DIY propagation shelving unit and set up our time-lapse camera.
I have all of them on me. I am going around the place yoinking everything I see by getting chased by a single entity. You didn't have to do that. Careful.
So, second half that timeline was where the nutrients were added, and I probably left it a little bit longer than I should have, and I did have one problem with the grow, and you can see it in the second tray. The second tray was actually allowed to dry out completely. Around the edges it stayed a little bit moist, and you can see that. What the hell they did with it? One of the biggest problems you'll probably have with this technique is because it's possible to cut out of media. Really are going to keep on watering because once you remove that dome, the bottle evaporates.
Oh, she just saved my life.
And there's a very real possibility of that dry out. Purely because there's just not that much water holding capacity in one of these. But just keep that in mind if you're going to be away for long periods of time, possibly being
I'm trying to let my stamina up. I'm after a stamina meter refill quick.
Now with this tray, I've actually had a few lines fail, the seeds failed. I only want to use one seed per fail.
She has both of them on her.
I'm unsure whether that's the method or the seed. However, if you wanted to negate that, you could connect two seeds with the possibly and you would have a much larger separated cell. The other caveat to this technique is that
Box 10. Get to the elevator.
media, if that is something that you are going to use to support the sand to get a So, as you can see, the plant has moved it down through the cotton wool bud and into the bottom reservoir. And if we lift this up, you can see that all of our roots have made their way down to the bottom. And this is where they're getting
So, no! Careful, Super. There's a guy nearby. You got my heart. I can't see in the dark. She got something. Here, I'll do this one. Go ahead to another. Super. I'll handle this.
Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Fish.
Wait, actually, this is a perfect team. We have always having one distract while the
Back up.
one getting
While you
detected.
get blocked.
Done. Got it. Slide me, Super.
Welcome back to the show.
This is the final one.
We're going to be building this.
It's just me and you.
This is a seedling and clone propagation area.
Stay by me.
From
So we gotta sprint to the elevator.
materials. The shelving, the lighting, everything.
Go, 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 go. Push, 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 push.
So in this video, I'll be showing you
Over here, over here, over here.
lights from your hardware store, how to waterproof cheap shelving. I'll also be
Touch my muffins.
seedlings, show you the
Super, I'm here.
And at the end,
Where are you?
I'll summarize how the system performs.
No! Super. No.
I'm going to be using pretty much exclusively components you can find in your local.
Am I the final one
And
living?
this means that anyone that's close to a hardware store on the same needs
Oh.
the lighting components as well.
Oh no. I am at like 1 heart. I don't know what's going to be in this room, but we'll see.
With the appropriate amount of photosynthetically
Okay.
active radiation or light we can then look at the enclosure. Now these are just cheap LED lights that I sourced from Bunnings. I think these LED vans lights were about $60 each, and these LED vans are $28 each from Bunnings. You can get cheaper, but I wanted to go with the style that is plug and play rather than the style that you have to hardwire in, because I don't really want to encourage people to do electrician's work at home without proper qualifications, because it would add too much to the cost to get an electrician in. If you know an electrician or are an electrician, obviously you can do this cheaper. Another benefit to these lights is they can daisy chain cords as well. Rather than having like 3
Get
or 4
fucked back.
lights plugged in to run, we can have one light plugged in daisy chain to the rest. We're going to test out this style of light as well as our larger fixture. I'll provide links in the description and the description of these lights. Basically, what
Broke the
you're looking
ankles.
for if you're in America or another country is a 4000K white light. So here are the specifications of this light. The higher the wattage the more light output you will have. So the highest wattage you can get, these are 13 watts. There was a 20 watt available, but as I said, it wasn't plug and play. And I don't really want to encourage that for people that have little experience with electricity. These ones are probably more ideal. This is a multi-spectrum light. So you can see here that we've got 3,000, 4,065K light. So this is covering a broader range, but that 4,000K is probably going to be ideal in most situations. So let's test what the power output on these is, and then we can figure out how many lights.
I'm waiting for her to pass by.
The area above where we're
Which way
going
is
to
she going? My way. I know.
Let me take a look at 2 British tri-classic American pies. It's time to see what we got with this and check out some American pies. Before we do get into this, we should if you guys can that subscribe button. Let's see what we got.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. No, right. To be that good.
That's a pie?
Today we're trying every kind
Wait, what?
of American pie.
Yo!
In the 1999
Oh.
comedy that has aged out.
Hey, I don't know.
Can you tell him I already know that?
Lots of come loose. Happens now and then. And you RAF boys with target practice.
Excellent fire.
Tell me, and there's a time and a place. Look, should really be on.
Sorry, old man. I gotta go meet
I'm kind of doing good.
But you got an excellent bottom, too.
All I'm hitting is great job. My, on each valve I do. Good job. Hurry, hurry, hurry. What? Who's that?
You alright? Hey, you look a little dizzy.
Captain Harkness. Nice to meet you, Linda Moss.
You mind flirting outside?
I was just saying hello.
For you, that's flirt.
Use that. It might contain the final numbers. The captain log will be unscheduled transmissions.
Nice. Thanks. Captain Jack Harkness, by the way. I'm Davidge Pavel. Nice to meet you, Davidge Pavel.
There's a time and a place.
Are you saying that this whole thing is
Captain Jack Harkness.
And who are you?
Martha Jane?
Nice to meet you, Martha Jones.
Oh, no, stop.
I was only saying hello.
I don't mind.
Captain Jack Harkness. Stop paying. Get his hand ready.
Hello? Who are you?
But we can't get into harmonize.
Captain Jack Harkness.
Oh, I just saw him again.
Can I say hello to anyone?
Tad, I do not protest.
Maybe later, Blue.
Captain Jack, don't. Just don't.
Better now?
You've got lights in here.
Hello?
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 Let's not start that again.
Okay.
So, who are you supposed to be then?
Captain Jack Harkness, 133 Squadron, Royal Air Force, American Volunteer.
Liar. This is psychic paper. It tells me whatever you want it to tell me.
You know.
2 things. 1, I've been used this all the time. And 2,
My heart is racing.
telling me a piece of paper, telling me you've seen it, and you want to know.
Tricky things, psychic paper.
Yeah. Can't let your mind wander when you haven't known.
Oh, you sort of have a boyfriend called Mickey Smith, but you consider yourself to be footloose and fancy free. Actually, the word you use is faithful. And another one.
4-6. I think I forgot something that's for. Dandy, you gotta have something good. Stamina, speed candy. That's all I needed from Dandy. You can go away now. Can you ask him when the boss floor is coming up?
In front of millions of viewers. Absolutely. Ladies.
I'm good right now.
Figures just went up.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
I've been following your work. Nice job with this, Levine.
Yeah, well, I've been staying away from you lot. Too many guns.
All the same.
Can you ask him when's the boss floor?
Good man.
Really? Not now, Captain.
It's the Buccaneer look. Little dash of pirate and just a tweak of President Schwarzenegger.
I'm not sure about the best. What about a little bit of color to live?
Absolutely not. Never wear black.
Super.
It makes the color look cheap and the black look boring. Now, let's talk.
Can you ask him when the boss floor is up?
No, that's a bit too much Hell's Angel. I think I like the shorter one. Look, waist length, nice and slimming, shows off the bump.
Works for me. Shall we have a drink on the balcony? Bring up the glasses.
I'm standing on something.
Okay, that's great.
I'm going in. What the looks like to the step regulation isn't fit coding any flesh.
Well, I look good though.
By the way, love the t-shirt.
So there's three doctors.
I can't tell you what I'm thinking right now.
It's fantastic. Oh, sweet. Look at these two. How come I never get any of that?
Buy me a drink first.
That's hard work.
Well, good show. Today on the show, I'm going to be reading this is a fully automatic, wicking, self-watering seedling propagation.
I don't give up.
This system provides
Woman can't kill me.
lighting, humidity, water, and temperature.
You were saying?
To make your propagation custom-free. So in our never-ending quest to make gardening cheaper and more accessible to more people, I've been thinking on seedling trays. They're just too expensive and they don't last long enough. It's something I've wanted to tackle for years, and I finally got around to it and designed these. Now this is a whole mess, but it's going to make a lot more sense in just a second. So these trays are flimsy and they do not last long at all. They're rather expensive for what you get. These are about like $5 a piece.
Let's talk about Rockwool, probably my favorite hydroponic growing medium of all time. Commercial growers love to show that, which kind of tells me why. Okay, so you've probably already seen that Rockwool products come in various shapes and sizes. I'll start with my Rodan AOK starter plugs. They're perfect for getting seeds going or for rooting your cuttings. Preparation is easy. Soak your seeds in pH 5.5 water for 15 to 30 seconds. Sometimes I add a tiny bit of nutrient to my pre-soak solution too. No more than 1 ml of each part per gallon. Very light, but other growers tell me they don't bother because the seed itself contains the initial heat for the sprout. Shake the plugs to get rid of any excess moisture. Don't squeeze them or you'll damage its fine internal structure and push out all those wonderful microscopic air pockets that plant roots love so much. If you're using the Grow Smart tray, you can place the plugs into the tray and allow the water to leach off. That water adds to the humidity inside the dome. Sow your seeds. 1 or 2 per plug in the little hole, just to seed step down and tuck over some fibers so they're surrounded by moisture. This grows more tree fits neatly in my propagator and raises the plugs up a little to help complete development. Close the vents in the propagator lid and place under a T5 fluorescent grow light. You don't need much light for seeds. The temperature should be around between 75 and 82 degrees Fahrenheit for crops like cucumbers, tomatoes, and peppers. Lettuce and cool season crops prefer 60 to 65. If temperatures are too hot, raise your light up.
I see. Cancel button.
Just be sure to monitor it, especially at the beginning. The next steps are really easy. Just wait. Seriously.
This is the most dangerous capsule I can get rid of real quick.
5 or 6 days. Just let those little seeds be
He's
there.
not coming my way. The other one, I think she's around the corner, so I should be fine for a bit.
If any creeks appear dry, give them the mist or another quick dip. Once roots are established, you definitely need to reach for the hydroponic nutrients. It's easy to do these, okay? Crops like lettuce barely need anything. Try an AC of 0.5. That's around 250 parts per million.
I should be fine here. It's the final one.
1.0 or 500 parts per million. You should harden your seedlings and cuttings up gradually. By that, I mean to slowly wean them off their high-humidity environment inside the propagator to the real world of your program. Once your seedlings hatch, open the propagator vents. Over the next few days, try sitting the lid loosely on the trachea, even propping it up.
Are you guys in a lobby right now?
All together for increasing periods until eventually your plants are happy without it. If you see your little seedlings starting to stretch or lean towards the light, it's time to increase light intensity. Commercial growers always make a more dilute, low-strength nutrient solution of bright, sunny days. You should take note out of there before moving the plants onto stronger light sources such as metal halide or LED plasma. Raise the lights up an extra foot or 2 and err on the side of caution with nutrient strength. Your plants will thank you for taking
4-7.
Okay, on to transfer. When you take good care of your babies, you might be surprised at how long they can stay in their starter drugs and remain reasonably happy. Just take a look at these cucumber seedlings. Healthy and vigorous, but screaming out to be transplanted. Don't worry, little guys.
What happens at the 10th floor, by the way?
Didn't say a word during her 20-minute rant. I just unfolded the property survey and watched 47 homeowners realize they'd been using my road for free. Picture this. HOA President Patty standing at that podium. Wait.
C3.
Didn't say a word during her 20-minute rant. I just unfolded the property survey and watched 47 homeowners realize they've been using my road for free.
I'm gonna do that
Picture
halfway.
this. HOA President Patty standing at that podium, waving around a $70,000 for my unauthorized road improvements, telling 60 neighbors how I was destroying their property values. She had the PowerPoint, the fake engineering reports, even brought 3 lawyers to intimidate me into submission. This woman had spent 6 months making my life hell, measuring my grass with actual rulers, fining me for my daughter's car being improperly parked in my own driveway, threatening to have my house condemned because I dared to fix
flip
money. But what Patty didn't know,
what is that thing?
An expensive car in that parking
What is that
lot
thing?
across my private property to get there. The road she was so concerned about, I'd inherited
It's a main.
it from my uncle.
It's a
who
main.
developed the entire
That's a
neighborhood.
main. You got another
What would
main
you
in
do
here.
if your HOA fined you for maintaining your own property? Drop a comment with your craziest neighbor's story. I guarantee
Right,
you
try-
got one. Let me back up and introduce myself. I'm Jake Morrison, 52 years
Honestly,
old.
thank
Retired
you
civil
for letting me
engineer who
know.
Thought he found the perfect quiet neighborhood to rebuild his life. After a messy divorce that left me questioning everything, I bought a modest ranch house in Willowbrook Estates in 2019. The selling points? Good schools for my teenage daughter Emma's weekend visits, tree-lined streets, and what seemed like a reasonable HOA that actually maintained things. Willowbrook Estates sits like a little island of suburban dreams. 47 homes built in the 80s and 90s, connected to the outside world by a single winding road called Maple Grove Lane. When I first moved in, it was mostly original families, middle-class folks who raised their kids here and knew their neighbors' names. But over the past few years, gentrification had crept in like ivy on a fence. Tech workers and real estate investors started buying up houses, tearing down gardens to install security cameras, and turning friendly wave-from-the-driveway relationships into next-door app complaints. Enter Patricia Hendricks. Everyone called her Patty, but trust me, she was about as sweet as a parking ticket. 48 years old, real estate agent, drove a white BMW that she parked at precisely the same angle every day. Always dressed in yoga pants and oversized sunglasses, even indoors, like she was perpetually heading to or from some very important meeting about being important. Patty moved into the neighborhood in 2020 and immediately appointed herself as what she called the Neighborhood Standards Coordinator. I'm talking about a woman who literally measured grass height with an actual ruler. Her husband Richard was some kind of tax attorney, quiet guy who seemed to spend most of his time apologizing for his wife's behavior. They didn't have kids, which meant Patty had lots of time to focus on everyone else's business. The whole thing started in spring 2024. We'd had a brutal winter that left Maple Grove Lane looking.
I got one by the elevator that I'm saving. I'm saving the deal.
Sections where the asphalt had just given up and crumbled into gravel. The metallic
so I can have an easy exit.
Hitting pavement became the neighborhood's unofficial soundtrack. Being an engineer, I could see this was only going to get worse. I sent a polite email to the HOA board offering to coordinate professional repairs. Patty's response came back within an hour. All modifications require board approval and proper permits. 6 weeks later, there was still no board meeting scheduled. The road kept getting worse. Mrs. Chen, the sweet 78-year-old who lived 3 houses down, nearly fell into a pothole while getting her mail. That's when I decided enough was enough. I called my contractor buddy Tom, guy who smelled permanently of diesel fuel and coffee, and we spent a weekend properly filling the worst spots. High-quality materials, proper preparation, the works. Cost me $3,200, 0 cents out of my own pocket, but at least people could drive safely again. The neighbors were immediately grateful. Several offered to reimburse me. I posted before and after photos in our neighborhood Facebook group, thinking maybe it would inspire the board to finally address the road properly. That was my first mistake. Within 48 hours, I had a formal cease and desist letter in my mailbox. The crisp sound of the certified mail hitting my porch at 8 a.m. should have been my warning. Patty accused me
of unauthorized
infrastructure modification and threatened legal action. She claimed my repairs didn't match HOA aesthetic standards and demanded I remove all materials in original condition. Original condition? You mean the potholes that were literally dangerous? The neighborhood Facebook group exploded. Older residents supported me. They remembered when neighbors helped neighbors. But the newer wealthy residents sided with Patty. Rules are rules.
Yeah, I bought the big one.
I realized I'd accidentally triggered a class war in suburbia. That stale coffee smell at the emergency HOA meeting should have told me everything I needed to know about what was coming next. Patty called an emergency HOA board meeting.
3, 2, 1.
You know, when working people. Only 3 of the 5 board members showed up, which was apparently enough for a quorum in Patty's.
1, 2, 3.
I walked into that community center meeting room to find Patty set up like she was prosecuting a war crimes trial. She had a PowerPoint presentation, I kid you not, titled Neighborhood Infrastructure Violations, a Case Study. She'd printed out photos of my roadwork from every possible angle, complete with red arrows pointing to what she called unauthorized modification. This resident, she said, not even using my name, has created serious liability issues and threatens our property values with unsanctioned repairs. She claimed my work didn't meet community aesthetic standards, which was rich considering I'd used better materials than the original road. The board voted 3-0 to fine me $500, 0 cents for unauthorized modifications, plus $200, 0 cents per day until the repairs were professionally removed. Because apparently, filling dangerous potholes was a crime that required daily punishment. Here's the mini twist. I decided to fight back with facts. I showed up to the next scheduled board meeting with a full engineering report. Traffic count data, safety analysis, material specifications.
I don't know why. It's just kind of like Beat Saber for me.
Packed with neighbors, mostly supportive ones who were tired of dodging crazy.
You see me here?
Commute. I'm offering to donate this work to the HOA, I said calmly. You just need to accept it retroactively. These repairs exceed county road standards. Patty's response? She pulled out her own engineering report, and this is where it gets good. From her brother-in-law. Turns out this guy's only certifications were in lawn care. His professional assessment was literally written on landscaping company letterhead. But Patty doubled down. She raised my fine to $1,000, 0 cents plus $500, 0 cents per day, and, here's the kicker, She instituted a new emergency protocol requiring all future repairs to use OOA-approved contractors. Want to guess who the only approved contractor was? Her husband Richard's golf buddy, who charged 3 times the normal rate. My daughter Emma, who's 17 and way smarter with technology than her old man, helped me create a detailed PowerPoint exposing the fake engineering report. We presented it at the next meeting, and you could hear the room's collective gasp when we showed the landscaper's credentials next to what Patty had claimed. 3 board members resigned that night out of sheer embarrassment. But Patty, she scrambled to recruit replacement board members from her wealthy neighbors, promising them property value protection. Within 2 weeks, she had a board packed with her allies, and they doubled down on everything. Not only did they keep the fines, they added fraud investigation fees to my bill. That's when I realized this wasn't really about road repair. This was about control. This was about a small person with a little bit of power trying to run someone out of the neighborhood because they dared to question her authority. Other neighbors started coming to me privately, sharing their own horror stories. Patty had cited people for having the wrong shade of beige paint. She'd measured fence heights with a tape measure. She'd fined an elderly veteran for having his American flag up past sundown. This woman was drunk on authority, and I'd accidentally become the symbol of resistance to her little suburban dictatorship. And here's something I learned that might help you if you're ever in a similar situation. HOAs can require you to post a bond equal to the disputed amount if you want to contest their fines. It's a legal trick designed to bankrupt people into compliance before they can even fight back. Always check your state's HOA dispute resolution process before engaging in prolonged fights. Knowing the financial requirements up front can save you from nasty surprises. By this point, I was facing $3,000, 0 cents in fines, and climbing by $500, 0 cents every day. The smell of fresh tar from my road
Super, I'm still in the same game.
Replaced by the bitter taste of injustice every time I drove over the smooth patches I created.
I'm on floor 8. I had to do 5 canisters.
We don't just fix problems, we solve them systematically. And I was about to start doing some very systematic research into exactly who had the authority to do what in our little neighborhood. Because something about this whole situation didn't add up. And when an engineer gets curious about property records and legal documents, well, let's just say things tend to get interesting. Patty's harassment campaign kicked into high gear. She started driving past my house multiple times a day in that white BMW, slowing down to take photos of my property like some kind of suburban private investigator. The soft whir of her car window going down became my personal soundtrack of dread. She cited me for grass slightly exceeding the 3.5-inch maximum. Yes, she actually got on her hands and knees with a ruler. She fined me for Emma's car being parked improperly in my own driveway, apparently because it was 6 inches over some invisible line only she could see. Then she reported me to the county for possible unpermitted driveway modification.
Where you at?
Even though I hadn't touched my driveway in 5 years.
Are you still spectating?
I wanted to take harassment lying down. I installed security cameras and started documenting everything. That's when I discovered something beautiful. Selective enforcement. Patty's wealthy friends had identical
I'm gonna cook, but I'm waiting for that cup to go. Because I am not gonna go start filling up that canister right in the middle of the map if that cup's here.
I created a spreadsheet.
It's a balloon, dude.
Engineers love
that balloon dog that.
Showing the clear pattern.
How do you see me?
That's when Mrs.
Nah, man. You'll lose sight pretty fast.
Cookies that smelled like vanilla and courage. She'd been watching the whole situation unfold, and she had something to tell me. Patty tried to make me remove my rose garden, she said quietly, the one my husband planted 30 years ago, before he passed. She said it was non-native species and created an excessive maintenance burden. Mrs. Chen's hands shook slightly as she spoke. But I still have all the original HOA documents from when we moved in. Would you like to see them? Here's the main
Super. How far do you think I can make it?
Mrs. Chen's late husband had been one of the original HOA founding members. She had copies of every covenant, every amendment, every board meeting minute going back to 1993.
Screw you. Screw you. Get out of here, balloon dog. You're not getting me this time. Blood 9!
Patty's current rules had never been properly voted on. The original HOA
Electric.
was actually pretty reasonable.
Medic.
Basic stuff about not letting your yard turn into a junkyard, keeping noise down after 10 p.m., all these nitpicky regulations about grass height and paint colors. added piecemeal by different boards.
Yay! I got 2 hearts.
Proper community approval, but I needed to dig
Your
deep.
footage is kind of behind
Spent the
Super.
next weekend at the county recorder's office, tracing property records and utility easements. You know that musty smell of old books and bureaucracy? That became my perfume for about 10 hours straight. That's where I found something interesting about our subdivision's development history. The original developer had retained ownership of several key parcels when the neighborhood was built. Most got sold off over the years, but the road, Maple Grove Lane, had a more complicated history. When the original developers company went bankrupt in 1995, their assets got sold at auction to pay creditors. The road ownership transferred to some holding company I'd never heard of. That holding company dissolved in 2001, and their assets transferred to, well, this is where it gets good, Morrison Development, LLC. Same last name as mine. Same last name as my Uncle Bob, who'd been a small-time property investor before he died in 2018. I rushed home and started digging through the boxes of paperwork.
Okay, I got like another machine to go to.
Stuff I'd been meaning to organize but never got around to. Somewhere in that pile of yellow documents and musty folders was a deed that would change everything. Meanwhile, Patty escalated her campaign. My fines hit $8,500, 0 cents, and were climbing daily. She threatened to place a lien on my house and scheduled a neighborhood standards hearing with county officials. Her plan was clear: bankrupt me into submission or have my property condemned. But while she was plotting my destruction, I was having the biggest holy crap moment of my adult life. Buried in Uncle Bob's estate paperwork was a deed to Maple Grove Lane private roadway easement. Every single car that entered our neighborhood, including Patty's precious BMW, was driving across property that I had inherited. Here's a knowledge nugget that might blow your mind. Private road easements are completely different from public rights-of-ways. When you own a private road, you can actually control who uses it, set maintenance requirements, even charge fees. Always research actual property boundaries and easements before.
Oh my God.
Public. Many subdivisions have surprising private ownership structures that can completely change your legal standing. I sat in my kitchen that night, holding the deed in hands that were shaking with a mixture of disbelief and righteous fury. Patty had been fining me for maintaining my own damn road. First thing the next morning, I called a real estate attorney. I needed someone to confirm what I was seeing, because this seemed too good to be true. 2 days later, sitting in her office that smelled like leather-bound law books and expensive coffee, I got the confirmation that made my heart race. But Morrison, you definitely own that road. The title chain is clear. You've been legally responsible for its maintenance all along. The HOA never had any authority to regulate it. But here's what I didn't do. Immediately march over to Patty's house and wave the deed in her face. Because Patty was about to give me something much better than a quick victory. She was about to hang herself with her own rope. She raised my total fines to $25,000, 0 cents, and scheduled an emergency community meeting to discuss the problem resident. She even invited the local TV news crew to cover what she called a neighborhood dispute. This woman actually thought having cameras present would help her case. The meeting was packed.
I've kind of gotten used to the game.
Showed up, plus the Channel 7 news team with their bright lights that made everything feel like a small-town congressional hearing. Patty had prepared a 20-minute PowerPoint about maintaining community standards, complete with
I need you to pass by, but not seeing me.
Labeled as unauthorized modification. This residence defiance threatens everyone's property values, she declared to the cameras, gesturing at me like I was some kind of common criminal. We need community support for necessary enforcement action. I sat quietly in the back row, taking notes and letting her dig her hole deeper. The room was getting uncomfortable.
I want to.
I could feel the tension in the way people shifted in their plastic chairs and avoided eye contact. Here's the main twist. Instead of defending myself, I requested permission to respond to her accusations. Patty, probably expecting some kind of broken apology, smugly agreed. I walked to the front of the room carrying a folder of documents and unfolded a surveyor's map on the table. The room went dead silent except for the hum of the news camera. Before we discuss road violations, I said calmly, let's clarify who actually owns the road. The expression on Patty's face when I showed the deed was priceless. Pure shock, like someone had just told her Santa Claus was real, and he was suing her for trespassing. I explained everything clearly. I had inherited the road from Uncle Bob, every resident had been using my private property for access, and I'd been maintaining their route at my own expense for years. The county official who'd attended asked to examine the documents and confirmed they looked authentic. The HOA never had authority to regulate my private road, I continued. I've been subsidizing this neighborhood infrastructure while being fined for improving my own property. Patty's desperate response was to claim the documents were fake or irrelevant. She insisted the HOA had established authority and threatened to have the county investigate my fraud. But you could see in her eyes that she knew the game had just changed completely. The reasonable neighbors immediately understood what this meant. Several approached me afterward, thanking me for maintaining the road and apologizing for not speaking up during the harassment campaign. About 15 residents left with Patty, but the majority stayed to hear my proposal. I'm offering a Maple Grove Road cooperative agreement, I said. Residents pay a modest monthly fee.
I'm dodging like crazy. And as we're trying to get this final ink valve done.
We end the current fines and legal threats and everyone gets a properly maintained road. Patty refused to consider any compromise. She stormed out screaming that this wasn't over and threatening to sue me for blackmail. Her core supporters followed her, but Mrs. Chen immediately stepped up to organize an information meeting for interested residents. The local news ran the story that night. HOA road ownership dispute reveals private property rights. The video went viral on social media, with comments overwhelmingly supporting me. Patty's threats and behavior
I'm good.
were completely unreasonable next to my car.
Wait, oh no.
Here's another
You think
knowledge nugget
forgot
that saved me
something at the
thousands
last floor.
of legal fees.
You give me that stopwatch, give me that, and give me that. Okay, 10th floor.
Many HOA threats are legally toothless bluffs designed to intimidate homeowners who don't know
This is I think this is going to be a hard floor since it is the 10th. Danny, thank you for the stuff. Okay, thank you. I need the stopwatch. I do not know what it's going to do.
I gave the community 1 week to respond to my proposal. Within 3 days, I'd received calls from over 20 interested neighbors. Mrs. Chen organized a road cooperative information meeting while Patty held a competing defense strategy meeting with her remaining supporters. The battle lines were drawn, but for the first time since this whole mess started, I held all the cards.
What's that
But only the
cat?
road was just the tip of the iceberg. When I really dug into Uncle Bob's paperwork, and I mean spread everything across my dining room table like some kind of property detective, I discovered something that made the road ownership look like small potatoes. Uncle Bob hadn't just owned the road. His company, Morrison Development LLC, had originally developed the entire Willowbrook Estates subdivision back in the 1980s. Every lot, every utility easement, every carefully planned curve in our little suburban paradise, Uncle Bob had designed it all. The road wasn't just private property. It had been specifically
What are you doing over there,
designed as a
Super?
private access point to maximize the value of every lot in the neighborhood. It was never intended to be public or HOA controlled. Uncle Bob had kept ownership intentionally, both for liability protection and to maintain quality standards. My real estate attorney explained the full scope of what I'd inherited.
I'm about to get
As the
second
road
machine done
owner,
on
I could
floor
legally
10.
control access, set usage rules, and even charge maintenance fees. The only restriction.
How high do you think I'll make it?
Strand existing residents without reasonable notice. But I had essentially unlimited authority over my own property. Here's the financial reality that blew my mind. Over 30 years, road maintenance had cost approximately $180,000, 0 cents. My recent $3,200, 0 cents repair job had increased property values by an estimated $15,000, 0 cents per home. Simple math. The neighborhood's 47 homes had collectively benefited by over $700,000, 0 cents from my work alone. Mrs. Chen filled in the historical context that made everything make sense. The original HOA had been genuinely cooperative, focused on basic community maintenance and neighbor relations. Uncle Bob used to coordinate road work through HOA communications, and everyone chipped in fairly. Your uncle was a good man, Mrs. Chen told me over tea that tasted like jasmine and justice. He never made anyone feel like they owed him, even though legally they did. Patty's regime represents a hostile
I'm on the fourth
takeover
machine
of what
already.
used to be a real community. The power shift in my brain was like switching on floodlights. I'd been approaching this completely backwards. I wasn't a resident subject to HOA rules about the road. I was a property owner whose asset was being regulated by his customers. Those 47 homes depended entirely on my private road for access, and I'd been too polite to acknowledge my leverage. But here's what really got to me. I've been subsidizing these people's infrastructure.
You found the final
while they
ink
find me
capsule
for the
without
privilege.
taking a heart.
The HOA budget showed 0 allocation for road maintenance because they've been freeloading on my inheritance for years. I made a strategic decision that night. I could have gone nuclear immediately, posted private road no trespassing signs, and locked down access until people paid up. But that's not who I am.
One of them are
I wanted to
shrimpy.
solve this
Shrimpy's
problem
gonna be
fairly,
dangerous if she
not
goes
destroy
my
the neighborhood out of
direction.
spite. My plan was simple. Educate the community about the true ownership structure, offer a reasonable compromise, and escalate to access restrictions only if the harassment continued. This was about respect and fairness.
How you doing over there, Super?
I scheduled a professional surveyor to mark the exact road boundaries and ordered proper signage.
I'm about to complete 410.
I researched insurance implications and consulted with a traffic lawyer about proper procedures. If I was going to do this, I was going to do it right. The emotional turning point for me was realizing I could actually protect other neighbors from Patty's tyranny. Mrs. Chen's rosary, the veteran's flag, petty harassment. I had the power to end it.
No!
Patty's authority over the road.
He smacked me with her tail.
I shifted from defensive victim to empowered property owner. But with great power comes great responsibility, and I was determined to use this leverage wisely. The next week felt like preparing for the most important presentation of my life. My attorney walked
I'm at
me
one
through
heart
every
again.
detail of private road owner rights and responsibilities. I could legally post signage, control hours,
Sounds like a
restrict
dark
certain
room
vehicles,
again.
and charge maintenance fees. The catch? I had to provide reasonable access to existing
Why is there ominous music?
I couldn't suddenly strand people without proper legal notice.
I feel scared.
I hired a professional surveyor to confirm the exact boundaries. Every inch
I see
mattered
myself.
if this was going to court. Watching him work with that precise electronic equipment, beeping and measuring while neighbors pretended not to stare from their windows, felt like drawing battle lines with scientific precision. The traffic engineer I consulted calculated fair usage fees based on actual vehicle counts. He sat at the road entrance for 3 days, clicking one of those handheld counters every time a car passed. The metallic click, click, click became the soundtrack.
Shrimpy and Boxy Bill are the two hunters this round.
$50, 0 cents per month per household.
So that's a
more than
dangerous
cover
one.
Professional maintenance, snow removal, and emergency repairs.
See one down the
Emma
hall.
turned into my secret weapon for community outreach. She created a neighborhood Facebook group called Fair HOA Governance and started documenting the harassment timeline with photos and screenshots. My daughter has this gift for making complex legal stuff sound reasonable, and her posts began attracting supporters I didn't even know I had. Dad, look at this, she said, showing me her laptop screen filled with comments. Mrs. Peterson says Patty fined her for having the wrong mailbox numbers. Mr. Garcia got cited for his kid's chalk drawings on his own driveway. This woman is insane. I designed an educational presentation explaining the road ownership history, complete with maps, photos, and a simple FAQ. My engineering background came in handy. I knew how to make technical information digestible. The key was showing people this
Oh, he
wasn't about
stomped
money.
because he lost sight of me. That is so cute.
The financial analysis was eye-opening.
Super
Calculated
adorable.
that over the years, I'd essentially been subsidizing the neighborhood's infrastructure to the tune of about $150. 0 cents per household per month. My proposed $50 0 cents fee was actually a bargain compared to typical HOA road assessments. Mrs. Chen introduced me to other longtime residents who'd been quietly suffering under Patty's regime. Tom the contractor offered to donate materials and labor if needed. The attorney provided continued guidance on legal procedures. Even the traffic engineer offered to testify about professional road standards if it came to that. My contingency planning covered every scenario I could imagine. If education failed, I'd escalate to formal usage agreements. If harassment continued, I'd restrict access during specific hours. If legal threats persisted, I'd countersue for harassment and defamation. The nuclear option, complete access restriction, was legally possible, but would take careful coordination with emergency services. Here's a knowledge nugget that could save you money if you're ever dealing with shared infrastructure. Private road maintenance cooperatives can actually provide tax advantages through proper structuring. Shared infrastructure costs may qualify for certain business deductions if organized correctly. When dealing with private road disputes, research cooperative ownership structures and tax implications. Sometimes financial benefits can motivate better solutions than legal threats. The time timing strategy was crucial. I decided to wait for Patty's next escalation before revealing my full hand. This would maximize the impact and give the community a clear choice between her authoritarian approach and my cooperative solution. I practiced staying calm under pressure, knowing Patty would likely have an explosive reaction. My goal was to focus on solutions, not blame, and give the community a real chance to choose cooperation over conflict. The psychological preparation was just as important as the legal
I see myself.
I had to accept that some level of conflict was unavoidable. Patty had built her entire neighborhood identity around controlling others, and she wouldn't give that up easily. But I also prepared for the possibility that this could heal the community. If we could establish a fair, transparent system for road maintenance, it might become a model for handling other shared expenses. Maybe we could even restore some of the neighborly cooperation that Mrs. Chin remembered from the early days. The surveyor finished his work on a Thursday, planting small flags every 50 feet along the road boundary.
Imagine how much ink well I get from this one match.
Mixed with the scent of honeysuckle from Mrs. Chen's garden. A strange combination of legal precision and natural beauty. Friday morning, I had professional signs ready to install. Private road, Morrison Development LLC owner, and authorized access only, usage agreements required. But I held off on putting them up. I wanted to give diplomacy.
Don't look shrimpy.
Because sometimes, when you hold all the cards, the most powerful move is letting your opponent make the next mistake.
You
I made that mistake faster than I expected. Monday morning, I found a sheriff's sale notice posted on my front door. The thick, legal-sized paper that crinkled ominously in the morning breeze. She was actually
I should be fine with what I got. Bye, Dandy.
But here's where her arrogance really showed. She called the local
Floor 12, and I got, he said I'm scared of what's going to be on the next floor, so there's going to be something happening. Taking a guess.
This woman was so drunk on her perceived power that she was advertising her overreach to the entire county. I said nothing publicly, just went about my business, letting Patty dig her hole deeper while I quietly prepared the nuclear alarm. My attorney filed a motion to dismiss the lien. Turns out you can't just declare debts and force property sales without actual court judgments. But I didn't announce that victory yet. The professional survey stakes were still planted like little flags of impending doom. I had the private road signs ready in my garage, but I wanted Patty to commit fully to her course of destruction before I revealed my trump card. Meanwhile, the community was fracturing. Several neighbors approached me privately with apologies.
Super, I died.
Mr. Garcia told me Patty had...
I died to the magnifying glass. Once again.
Person got cited for having the wrong style mailbox numbers, even though they've been there for 15 years. She's lost her mind.
Sorry it took so long.
Peterson whispered to me at the grocery store, glancing around like Patty might be hiding behind the cereal boxes. But we're all scared to speak up because she...
Yeah, stop at the shop real quick.
Crosses her. Here's the mini twist that showed just how desperate Patty was getting. I discovered
so I got 500. I got around, so I can buy you, not you,
being accused of
not
overcharging
you.
HOA clients and potentially kickback schemes with preferred contractors. Patty was using her HOA presidency to generate business for Richard.
I could buy this.
Creating a massive
Picket pocket passive. Tunes a 50% speed boost for 30 seconds when attacked. I think I got what I might be using, because when I get attacked I need a speed boost, and I'm going to probably be sprinting a lot. Where are you, Super?
Sometimes the best weapon is the one you don't use yet.
How much ink stuff do you got? I just want to know how much ink stuff you got.
Maintaining community standards made her look petty and vindictive, especially when she claimed I represented a property value threat while standing next to the beautifully maintained road I fixed with my own money. Local small business owners started reaching out to support me.
I can't pull up what I can equip, but I'm trying to find you.
Tom the contractor offered to organize other tradespeople to help with road maintenance.
I see you T-posing.
Offered to cater the next community meeting for free.
I see you T-posing. There you are.
Media war was
What's up, Super?
Emma's Fair HOA governance group had gained over 200 members, including people.
Hey, do you got enough ink to buy a character? The best character you can buy is about 250.
Competing property standards protection group, but their posts
you got 250?
More unreasonable. That's when Patty made her biggest mistake yet.
It should. Oh wait, I already bought her.
Spreading rumors about my personal life and finances. She told people I was
Oh wait, I got it up now.
money through fake road
Character that you can
suggested I was
buy
behind on my mortgage payment.
is Poppy.
The Whisper campaign was the final straw. When you attack someone's character
And
based
when you
on
get
lies,
attacked, you get a 3
cross
second
from
speed
petty
boost.
harassment into something much more serious.
I think you might be
I
able to
made my
use that.
decision. Friday evening, I sent a simple email to every household in the neighborhood. Community meeting, Sunday, 2 p.m. Important information about road ownership. No details, no threats, just a calm invitation to learn the truth. Patty responded by scheduling her own competing meeting for the same time, calling it emergency action against problem resident. She even invited county officials and local media, planning to have me publicly humiliated and possibly arrested for whatever charges she could dream of. The stage was set for the final confrontation. I had my attorney on standby, the surveyor ready with documentation, and a folder full of evidence about Patty's harassment campaign.
Did you buy ink?
Ethics issues. But most importantly, I had the road ownership deed in my briefcase, along with professional signs ready to install the moment I chose to end this show.
What did you buy?
Sunday was going to be very
Oh my god, the worst character! Honestly, wait, super, look at me.
Autumn air that makes everything feel like destiny.
Come on.
Scheduled for 2 p.m. at the community center. Patty's emergency.
Come on, we're gonna go, just me and you.
Versus my simple, important information about road ownership. I arrived 30 minutes early with my attorney, the surveyor, and a briefcase full of documentation.
Oh no, wait! Super, our goal, to make it at least a 4 or 5 as shrimp, okay? It's our goal. Our goal is to make it to 4 or 5 as shrimp. If you get caught, try to loop him around a crate. Loop him around the crate if you get caught. If they see you. The best idea. Loop him around the crate. Think you can do that?
Patty had claimed the podium and was already in full performance.
The shrimp twins are back.
I prepared another PowerPoint. This one titled "Protecting Our Community from Fraud."
Our goal is to make it to 4 or 5.
20 minutes, she ranted about my unauthorized road modifications.
Listen, we're wearing like the worst character, by the way.
Defiance was threatening everyone's property values. She even brought props, a ruler for measuring grass height, and printed copies.
Let's see if the worst character can do as much. Okay, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this way.
She declared, pointing directly at me like I was a war criminal. Has shown complete disregard for our.
He is so slow, and he has barely any like stamina up. So I'm gonna be definitely dead in here soon.
Criminal charges for fraud and property destruction. The applause was scattered.
My God, Super, this is so slow. I found 1, 2, and 3.
When Patty finally finished her theatrical performance, she smugly offered me a chance to respond.
And the bar's so slim!
Expecting some kind of desperate plea for mercy. Instead, I stood up calmly, walked to the front of the room, and placed my surveyor's boundary map on the table where everyone could see it. Before we discuss road violence,
don't fail, Super.
My voice carrying clearly through the silent room. Let's clarify who actually owns the
road
we're talking about. The mini twist that ended everything. I unfolded the original development deed and inheritance documentation showing how Maple Grove Lane had never been.
Are you dead?
Every single resident, including Patty, had been using my private road for access without permission or payment. I inherited this road from my uncle who developed this entire subdivision in the 1980s. For the past 5 years, I've been maintaining your access
I hate this character.
While being fined.
Did you fail one again?
The county official asked to examine the documents. The surveyor confirmed the boundaries. The sheriff's deputy looked increasingly uncomfortable as he realized Patty had called him to a civil property dispute that was completely outside his jurisdiction. Patty's response was pure desperation.
I completed.
She claimed my documents were fabricated, that I was running some kind of elaborate scam, and that the county needed to investigate me for fraud. But you could see in her eyes that she knew.
Suck my balls! You're not killing me anytime soon! Actually, you're much faster. I can't loop you either. Give me a piece of candy.
Residents pay modest monthly fees.
Screw you!
Maintenance. I retain ownership.
Go away now. Super, you is so close. I can tell you this character, I see why everyone hates him. He has like so slow stamina, he runs so slow too.
Threatening to sue everyone who cooperated with my extortion scheme. She actually used the word
I did it.
to describe asking people to help pay for maintaining the road they used every day. When she realized the room wasn't buying her hysteria,
I got like no sprint.
stormed out with her core support.
Kill me.
This isn't over. Threatening to expose
I'm not doing that.
the state attorney general. The door slamming behind
You got two
her,
ink
a
cone.
suddenly quiet room like the end of a very long, very stupid war. Mrs. Chen immediately
I'm done for the night.
organizing the reasonable neighbors who wanted to discuss the cooperative proposal.
Tomorrow we should play this, actually. I like it.
The county official confirmed that everything appeared legally